Hey guys, it's Raiza, and welcome back to another episode with our Naga Gladiator. We are now in Snake Pits. Everything's actually looking really good for this character. So the thing with Snake Pits is, Snake Pits, what am I talking about? Spider's Nest, that's what it's called. The thing with Spider's Nest is it's not terribly difficult. There's a couple of uniques in here that can be a bit troublesome. But, really, Snake Nest... Why on earth am I calling it that? Spider's Nest. The thing about it is that it's really just managing how many enemies are on the screen. If you can do that, you can get through Spider's Nest. Just not having too many enemies on screen, like that. If I can just... Okay. And those Orb Guardians, they can be a bit tricky, but they aren't too bad. There we go. They launch Orbs of Destruction at you, which the further they travel, the more damage they do. And they still deal a lot of damage when they only travel one block and hit you. So, you really just want to avoid those, but they aren't that much of a worry. At least not to me. I don't worry about them too much. If you just kind of like get them around corners and stuff, you don't have to worry about them too much. Wow, there's not actually really anything we can drop. We got some scrolls I identified. Let's just get some stuff I identified, see if we can get anything out of our inventory. +5 Ring of Intelligence. That's cool, but no thank you. And what's our amulet that we're wearing right now? +6 amulet reflection. You know what? I don't even want that, because nothing's going to be quite as good as that. Alright. So we should be able to clear through this fairly quickly with no trouble at all. And then we will, I'll go do the 4 levels of Vault. What armor are we wearing right now? We have troll leather armor. I think I'd rather have that right now. I think that orb just hit its buddy. Yeah, it just did. At least that second one did. Oh yeah, we have the orbs are affected by the amulet reflection. So, hello, Entropy Weaver? Where? Oh, I think he lost us. Now I found us. There we go. The orbs of reflection are affected by the reflect on our amulet, so they can be reflected like that right there. That's awesome. So, and the fact that we have 26 shield because of our large shield, we are almost guaranteed to reflect it every time. So we can just kind of hold tab through all of these enemies, because they aren't too scary. We have poison resist naturally, so usually that's what really kills you here, is you get surrounded, the spiders poison you, and then you pretty much die. But since we have poison resistance naturally, oh, that's a Moth of Wrath, and it just wrathed a ton of enemies. Wrath, Berserked, whatever. Oh, no. We're gonna blink here. Get us out of this situation. Ow. Ow. Okay. One berserked enemy is not a problem. It's when you're surrounded and they're all berserked that things become extremely complicated. Up, and we're stuck. There we go. Okay, so we're not going to go back down that staircase, because that is literal hell. I forgot that Moth of Wraths can spawn here. They're kind of rare. You typically don't see them, but they do from time to time spawn, and they can make your life absolute hell like it did. And we're just going to stair pull here. I think we can take on everything now. There we go. Alright, so if we see that Motharath again, either singling him out or making sure that he's not on screen so that he can't whatever, so that he can't berserk our enemies would be great. That's typically how you deal with them. Just keep them on screen. Do we have a wand of digging? We don't have a wand of digging. Kill holes typically do really well at dealing with Moth's Wrath, but since we don't have a wand of digging, we're probably just gonna bum rush him when we see him. Holy smokes! All right. I just want to be on the scared case, just in case. There's that Motharath. Bum rush him. Alright, he's dealt with. Where's that Emperor Scorpion? There you are. Please go away. Please go away. Okay. Didn't realize tarantulas were edible. Alright. Okay. Motharath is dealt with, so I think the rest of this floor is nothing to concern us. Let's grab the Fan of Gales just because it's an okay item to have. I don't really ever use it. Well, actually, I don't really ever use my evocables at all. Probably why I'm such a bad player, but whatever. I'm not too concerned. I get by. I use them when I'm in a tight spot. Alright. Why is that? Right, click off, click back in the window, and now my enter should work. There. Yeah, that's the power of all the AC that we've managed to have gotten up to this point, is that, oh, my nets are what I have active. I don't want to be netting these spiders. Earth elementals? Yeah, they sometimes spawn, I guess. But at this point, we're strong enough that we aren't concerned about earth elementals. Pretty much everything in here is cakewalk. Ooh, Scroll of Enchanting. Use that on our Electrocution Trident. Another Lamp of Fire. I do want that. Just because Lamp of Fires are just so good to have. They help clear so many things. Another Fan of Gales. Wow. Alright. I guess we're not taking it then. We've just got so many items in our inventory. I don't know what to do with all of it. We've got so many consumables. I really don't want to be on screen with that. We're just gonna have to tank it. Okay, there we go. What can we get rid of? So we've just got so much stuff. We can drop the fruits. We don't need the fruits. They aren't doing much for us. We can ignore that Perilous Wand. Oops. Alright. 4/4. This is a lot. Ooh, that's Ghost Moth. Ghost Moths can be a little dangerous, but alone, they're not much to it. Oh, that's Arachne. I don't actually think I've ever seen her before. 204 hit points. Dang, that's a lot of hit points. Poison Arrow, Venom Bolt, and Snare. If we net her, or if she nets us, there we go. Alright, looks like she's gonna die. There we go. Okay. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go. just because I don't think I've actually ever faced her before. Aside from now. And she seemed like a bit of a walkover, actually. That's probably because we got lucky. On top of that, we have plenty of consumables that we can still go through, so we still aren't really worried about anything. What kind of trident is this? Doesn't matter because it's not Demon Trident. Our Trident of Electrocution is so good, and we have our Vampiric Trident that we should probably, if we can, start enchanting. I really did not want to open that. And, 1 second, because I think I'm going to sneeze. Alright, I think I'm good. Oh, that's horrible. Just that feeling that I'm gonna sneeze and then it just goes away. It's the worst feeling in the world. Oh, this is a circular vault. It kind of goes out and around, and there's so many enemies along the side that is ridiculous. And the actual ruin is like in the center here. So we're gonna have to go around the circle and just clear them out. And it's probably not gonna be fun. I'm gonna... Well, actually, we do need to keep shields training, just because of our large shield. I really want to get rid of that penalty. We're gonna want to back up here. That is the most depressing, electric eel I've ever seen. He's got one puddle to live in. Please, please. Okay. Ow. Eat some food, because we got royal jelly for days. Why are you confused? Okay, he just straight up died. Fine by me. Ah, I keep throwing my nets. There goes that net. Alright, let's reflect the orb of destruction, and it's dead. Oh, and it counts as my orb of destruction. You blow up the orb spider. Interesting. That's actually really cool. So if I reflect the orb, it's now my orb. I like that. And then there's all its little giblets. Poke him. He's dead. How did I get... Wait. Tarantula bites you. You are confused. Can tarantulas confuse me? Why am I confused? Alright, hello? Okay, yeah, tarantulas do that. Okay, so the victims they bite go into a frenzied dance. Okay, so tarantulas can confuse me. I've never seen that before, but there you go. That's something they can do. Alright, so, this is going to be kind of difficult. I'm going to X this out for now. We're going to clear the rest of the floor. Just because I know how many enemies are in there. There's a lot of enemies in there, and I'd feel more safe having the rest of the floor cleared than to go ahead and deal with it right now. We've already killed Arachna on the floor, so a lot of times she should really spawn behind the, oh, that's a Jeweled Morning Star. I can't remember the name of that one, but we aren't too worried about it. We got pole arms for days, and they're probably arguably the best weapon in the game. Unless you're running Berserker and you got an axe, then that's the best weapon in the game. But otherwise, pole arm tops it. I'm just kind of disappointed that the pole arm doesn't give me an extended lunge with Wujan. I'm surprised I'm still running out of inventory slots. Let's identify what's on the ground. Potion of Invincibility. Anything I want to dump for that? Yeah, actually, the Potions of Flight. I didn't think to look too much. We can drop the Scroll of Amnesia because we won't be using that. I don't have any plans of going spells. Cancellation's really good. Agility's really good. Yeah, I don't really want to drop anything else. There we go. And I saw that enchant scroll. Put that on our trident. I'd much rather get the electrocution even higher up than starting to work on the vampiric. The vampiric's like, since it's only +0, vampiric's really good, but since it's not up to snuff with our other trident, it's not worth using. I'd just rather have the extra damage right now than to have a little bit of healing, because we've gone through this pretty fine. Whoops. And yeah, that's why I didn't really want to open this. We'll back up over here. And there goes all our mana because of the stupid ghost moth. We really want to deal with... I'm going to sack spies here, actually. I don't feel safe enough. Or... You know what? Lamp of Fire, actually. There we go. Getting rid of the Entropy Weaver is a lot more important, just because his corrosive smites are going to kill us a lot faster than anything else here will, as you can see. Once we dealt with the Entropy Weaver, everything else is just kind of cakewalk. And our ruin is right past this Emperor Scorpion. There we go. Okay, so that is Spider Nest. I almost said Snake Pit again. But we're going to head over to Vaults now. Vaults. Since we got our first rune, in order to get into Vaults, you have to have a rune from one of the side branches. Where did that demonic thing go? Did we just straight up kill it? No, it just moved out of view. Yeah, so in order to enter Vaults, you have to have a rune from a side branch. It can be in rune, doesn't matter. Now that we've got our rune, we're going to head over to Vaults. Vaults is pretty much what it sounds like. It's like a bank vault almost. Iron walls everywhere. It's filled with a lot of difficult enemies, but it also has a decent amount of loot. Just typically, you don't want to go down to Vaults 5. Most people don't. At Vaults 5 is every time you're surrounded by enemies, and there's so many enemies down there that it's not really safe to ever go down there. Most people will not do it. I do it almost every time just because I don't fear being surrounded by enemies and dealing with a large number. But that elf is probably just going to kill himself. There we go. Killed himself. I don't really worry too much about large number of enemies, so I typically always do Vault 5 for my third rune in order to do the orb run. But yeah, most of the times you just skip Vault 5 for the meantime, and you do something else. I do want those nets, just because having nets is really nice. You know what? I don't plan on ever using that. Get rid of that. Oh, they stepped on a... I hate you so much right now. If we can deal with the boggarts, this isn't too bad. There we go. Problem solved. And that's how you deal with a massive number of enemies. You just kill the one that summoned all of them. So boggarts are fairly standard in here. They summon like 6 to 7 enemies. They have like a shadow creature spell that they can cast at all times. And so boggarts can get pretty... That's not the one I want to target. The Iron Band Convoker summons enemies that are also on the floor. So he can bring a lot of really bad dudes to you. I've had him bring Ancient Liches and stuff to me, and it's not fun to deal with. So just dealing with the Iron Band Convoker, whatever you want to call him. Dealing with him first is a lot better. That Potion of Rage I do want, just because... drop the Potions of Brilliance. We don't need them. We're not a caster. That is a Storm Dragon. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay. Just don't want to face too many of those strong enemies all at once. Wow, he killed himself pretty fast. We're just going to tap through these. They aren't too much of a problem. That's cool. You don't ever really see artifact bows. For whatever reason, they're extremely rare. Just any artifact ranged weapon in general, aside from maybe a sling, can be really rare. I just never see them ever. So whenever I see them, I'm kind of a little intrigued. Ice Dragon. Actually, you know what? The only thing better than Archrine right now is if we found Wormbane, which is it starts out as like a +1 polearm. It's one-handed, but every time it kills a dragon, it has a chance to become more powerful, and happens a lot. So by the end of the game, you have like a plus. I think last time I used it was like a +18 polearm that gives +3 AC, RF, and I think that's it. Yeah. So it is a really good weapon. But at this point, we probably won't see it. And yeah, we haven't found it either. Boggarts. Back up. Hey, he teleported behind me. Thanks. Alright, that's one down. Two down. And actually, nothing is actually summoned right now. Except for that guy. Hey, Boggart. Dead. Yeah, Boggarts are kind of stupid. They summon a bunch of stuff, and then they get in melee with you, and then they just die, and all their summons disappear. So, that's really helpful. What are rings looking like? It's nothing that we have. I don't think we've seen any rings of, like, it's positive energy. Completely useless. We actually haven't seen any rings of fire resistance or cold resistance this game. So finding those, because I'd rather have those than the ring of ice or fire that we have. Though those supplement, those give us weakness to other types. So I'd rather not have that right now. This inventory problem is, well, really a problem. Drop the potion of magic. We don't need it. And then we'll enchant some more armor. We'll do the shield again. Just because having that extra shielding is so nice with Reflect. As you can see, just about kills everything that decides to be ranged with us. Vampire, you're dead. Wraith, you're dead. Ooh, that thing can be a little tricky. Ancient Champion is dead. Ooh, shiny plate armor. I just like the sound of that because that would give us a ton of AC. +1 plate armor of cold resistance. I actually like that more. That gives us 8 more AC, which is an absolute shit ton. So I'm gonna keep that on. Plus it gives us natural cold resistance. So there's really not any reason. The regen hasn't been doing much for us because we're already not taking any damage. So regen's only really useful if you're taking damage. And since we haven't been taking damage, there's no real reason to use it. Why do I keep getting pulled back? Oh, I think it's trying to make me go after the enemies in the cage. That was weird. Not too worried about a fire giant or a shapeshifter that was having a seizure and couldn't just having a identity crisis, whatever, and couldn't decide what he wanted to be. Scroll of brand weapon. Yeah, there's nothing I can do with that. That's actually means absolutely nothing to me. I don't care about fruits anymore. Yep, and yaks just kill themselves. Wand of Polymorph is useless. More yaks that are all going to happily kill themselves. What is this? Large steel amulet. Still is not going to have anything on our... Yeah, amulet of harm. Absolutely useless. Nothing's going to beat our +6 amulet at this point. I'll gladly give it up for something with reflection. such as if we get a shield, a reflective shield or something, I'll think about switching out the amulet. But until then, I'd much rather have the reflect. Wow, that timer goes fast. We're just gonna get down to Vaults 4 then, and that will be it. No, I do not want to go into Crypt. And they recently changed Crypt too. So that, or Crypt or Tomb, whatever. Crypt's the same, it's Tomb, which is the next branch below it, that they changed to no longer have stairs. It has trapdoors. Essentially, trapdoors are, see these stairs right here? These are two-way. I can go down and I can come straight back up, but trapdoors are a one-way. They send you somewhere random in the next floor below. It's always the same though. Once the spot's chosen, it's always the same. Let's just get rid of the boggart so that we don't have to worry about more. Please hit him. There we go. Alright. It's always the trapdoors, they send you to a random location, but it's always the same after that. But it's not immediate one-way back up. So once you go down, you're gonna have to find another staircase to get back up. And they changed all the staircases in Tomb to that, and so they quote-unquote made it a lot more. That's an executioner. We do not want him in our view. The executioner is super dangerous. He can torment us to death. There we go. Whew. We really don't want to be tormented at all. Torment is a very scary thing to happen to us. It most of the time is not resistible. Some races that have our torment have no problem with it, but we don't have our torment, and there's no way to actually get it if you don't already have it. So yeah, we just don't want to deal with that at all. Just holding tab there. Get through all these enemies. A lot of food. There's a lot of food in vaults since everything is, well, either human or something edible, I guess, is the best way. It's human or edible, really. Only thing that isn't edible is, oh no, this guy can abyss us, I believe. Yeah, he can banish. It's only a 1%. Okay, we're not even concerned then. We're gonna deal with the Tengu Conjurer first. And now we're going to deal with the Convoker there, because he can summon more stuff. Deal with him because he's smited. And there we go. We were really low on health there, but because of our level of AC and just how generally tanky we are, I'm not concerned at all about being at low health, just because I'm pretty... Oh my gosh, we got red drain from that. That is horrible. Okay, we're yellow drain now, so that's not as bad. I'm just gonna close that door. And now we're gonna teleport out of here. -12 is not going to be fun. This is fine because we have so much shield that it doesn't matter, so long as they're not in melee with us. Now we're gonna wait out. There we go. So, just a rule of thumb, if you're getting corroded, don't fight stuff. Find a place to hide and get off the corrosion and reset the fight. Corrosion stacks up really fast, and each one gets rid of 4 AC. So as it begins to stack up, you start to end up in a very, very precarious situation. So backing off, finding a safe place, and getting rid of the corrode. It's a lot better. That is... I don't know how to pronounce her name. And that's also a Titanic slime. Oh, no. We're just going to heal a lot here. Okay, that's her dealt with. And everything else is pretty much walkovers. That was a really bad situation there. I would not suggest ever fighting that like I did. I handled that really badly. That was extremely unsafe, being next to a Titanic slime and a unique, like, however you pronounce her name. But the Titanic slime I knew couldn't hit me, so I wasn't too worried about it. But if it did hit me, it would have hit for an absolute boatload of damage, and I probably would have just straight up died. We're gonna get more strength. What is it? Oh, it's a book. Book of Earth. Doesn't have anything I want. We're gonna take Blink, just because we can. Boggarts, completely... What is that? Twisted Direflow. I'm just gonna waste a identify on it just because I'm kind of interested. Lifebane, Fragile, RF++. It's an okay weapon. It's not great. No, I don't want it. I just kind of look at, like, taking a little peek at the artifacts just because I haven't seen all of them in the game yet, and so it's just kind of nice to... Book of Warp. This is a translocations book. Pretty much everything that we've already seen. It has controlled blink though, which I'm gonna grab because I can. And what is disjunction? Disables the space in the sphere around the caster for a while, causing anyone nearby to blink away from the caster. The chance of blinking depends on the distance from the caster, being nearly certain when directly adjacent. That's a cool spell. And more ruined plate armor. I'm gonna just check it out, just see if it's maybe better than what we have. +2 plate armor, fire resistance. We currently have cold resistance, but it is only +1. So we're gonna drop current armor. Going to get this one and put it on. Yes, keep equipping. That one extra AC will be in handy, and switching from cold resistance to fire resistance isn't too much because we still have our rings. And I'm gonna drop the troll leather. We don't need it anymore. And whoops, we're gonna get rid of a couple more wands that we don't need. I don't need all these acid wands, and we can get rid of the unknown ice blast. We aren't using them, so there's no real reason to have them. Ooh, what do we have over here? What gloves do I currently have? +2 gloves of archery we aren't using. So, gloves of dex or strength. There are more gloves of archery. Okay. Oh, what do we have over here? Ruin, shiny. Neither of those are any good, and we're not a spellcaster. Alright, Vaults 4. This will be the last 4 vaults we're going to do, and then we'll head back to Swamp. But because my timer already went off, I quickly want to get through this and then go, because I have to leave for work. And that's really why you want to deal with a Convoker as quick as possible, because they summon more stuff that is on the floor. Where did that Conjurer go? He just summoned all this stuff and then just completely GTFO'd. Okay, he died. Yeah, so that's kind of the reason you want to deal with Convokers as fast as possible, is they bring other stuff that's on the floor to you. One of the downside is, well, there's more stuff to deal with. The upside is, somewhere on the floor now, there's less stuff for me to deal with. So I can look at it that way. Ideally, I should have been dealing with the mage first, just because he can enchant everybody else, give him haste and might. But he didn't, and I wasn't too worried. We're so tanky that it doesn't concern me to play. Oh my gosh, what happened to us? We got -4 intelligence. Okay, that is not the worst that could happen to us. That was probably a shapeshifter. I imagine it was. I don't want to bother to check now. Hi, he has a Logitang. Those are really rare. It's not enchanted though, so it's completely useless. But hey, Logitang. Hey, more ogres. And they're all dead. What happened? Nothing really. Okay. There's a bunch of red text that went across the screen. I thought something important happened, but not really. Another sack of spiders. That's pretty good. Though everything at this point is just kind of cakewalks. More wands that we don't need. Another dragon. Nice dragon armor. Completely useless to us. The only thing that's going to be the kind of armor I'm looking for is probably gold dragon armor right now, or what is this? Ooh, scroll of acquirement. Yes, I do want to read that. We have a good weapon. So what do we want then? We can go for armor and we can go for jewelry. In terms of armor, we've got a lot of decent armor. Our jewelry has been really lacking though, so I'm gonna go with jewelry. What does it have to be? An amulet? MR, region, and dex +3. The MR is really good, but like I've said, it's not going to beat our +6 amulet of reflection. That's just so much defense that we've got there. So, I'm going to ignore it for now. Oh, I picked it up. I'll keep it in inventory. If we come across an enemy that is a heavy spellcaster, like an Ancient Lich or something, I don't actually know what I would use it for, but if we come across anything that we need a decent amount of MR for, I'll consider switching. Oh, that was a scroll summing. I actually would have really liked that. But we've got sacks of spiders for days, so... ignore that. Ignore it. That was a Zot trap. That was kind of dangerous. I don't think I've ever stepped into a Zot trap. Except maybe once. And that was because an enemy triggered it in Zot. But, really don't want to trigger those. A lot of bad things can happen. Harpies. More harpies. Convoker. There's nothing left on the floor that he can summon. Okay. We will head back over to Swamp. We'll eat some food along the way. Alright, we're back in Swamp. We're going to... we need to get back down to the bottom, get the ruin, and get out, because we're not going to reliably fight that 27 headed Hydra. I don't want to do it either. But I'm going to call that it for the day. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.